Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle D, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am your host, Coach Danni D, and I am here helping people find their work-life balance, whatever that looks like for you, so that you can both have a successful business and a successful life. We're not out here just trying to have a business to say we had a business and a business is successful, and we're not living life. We're not enjoying our lives. We're not putting ourselves in a position to enjoy our lives. So today I have a very special guest. I have Stephanie Mbelu. Did I get it correctly? Okay, I'm particular about people's names. I want to make sure that I am saying everything correctly. And I'll tell you a little bit about Stephanie, and then I'm going to let her tell you a little more about her. I'm very excited to bring her on because she is a systems girl like me, and that just warms my heart because, man, the systems make life easier. So Stephanie's passion is helping women excel in their businesses so that they can live fuller lives. As a soldier in the United States Army Reserve, she has had the privilege to serve her country and learn that she can be more. That she could do more than she imagined. After over 19 years of experience, you must have a time machine somewhere. If 19 years of it, I'm looking for it on the face, it's not there. After over 19 years of experience, she has come to see the value of standardization, automation, flexibility, professionalism, and just plain getting it done. So welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. I actually hit 20 years in January. So in the Army Reserve, I plan on retiring next year. So it's there. It's in there.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for taking the lessons that you've learned to bring it to help other people, because that's just amazing to transfer those skills over into your everyday life. So I want to definitely know more about you. And my favorite question to ask is, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. How did you get into entrepreneurship and, start doing that thing that you love?
So honestly, it was I would say it was almost by accident. So my mom is an accountant and she's worked independently pretty much like ever since I can remember, since I was like in the second grade. And so one of her clients needed a capability statement, and she called me and she was like, "Hey, is this something you could do?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that." And so I did it. And then there were a few other things related to like her government contracts that she needed done. And so in her government contracting opportunities, and that's my background, government contracting. And so I helped her out with that. And in the process of that, she was just telling me about some other things within her business that needed to be improved, and some of the prices that people were charging her for like her government contracting experience and education. And I was like, well, that's that's something I could totally do. And so that's kind of how I started. I realized that I really loved working for women-owned businesses. I've always had a passion for women's issues. I started my career in social work at the YWCA, Eliminating Racism and Empowering Women. So, that it just kind of rolled on from there. And I realized, if I could actually get paid to work with people I like and do something I like, that's really where it came from. Because, you can make money, but, you want to like it.
And that is so beautiful. Two things really resonated with me. One, the accidentalness of it all. Like I feel like I fell into both of my businesses by accident. And I know a lot of people, the same thing, they kind of got, pulled into it, not knowing that they were about to go on the adventure, that they were about to embark upon. But also, having that belief that you could do something that you love and work with people that you love and still make money doing it, because I think sometimes we shy away from our passions because we don't see where it's going to bring us a profit.
I totally agree. So for me, it was when I first graduated college, I went into social work. And I love the service aspect of that, being able to serve women. But I mean, just being honest, I didn't make any money at it.
Right.
And so that's why I kind of left and went to do other things. So I was really excited for the opportunity to serve women. I feel very strongly about women being financially independent, because the number one predictor of when a woman can live a life free from violence is when she is financially able to do so. And so that is something that has stuck with me all the way since my time at the YWCA. And so, and then just like honestly, working in a male dominated environment also was a trigger for me, because I kind of played around with my business for probably about maybe like 2 or 3 years after that. Well, actually not two, actually a year, probably about a year or two after that, I kind of played around with my business. But after my last deployment and just having like such a terrible time, honestly, with my male leaders, I'm like, I don't want to work with men. I don't want to. But I do, and I will, I will take men on as clients, but I just saw the importance of doing the job, like working with people that you believe in, having a mission that you believe in, because work is work, right? I mean, you can do anything almost for 8 hours a day, I think, but it's really the people that make the difference. And so for me, I wanted to work with business owners whose vision I could really get behind and whose personalities and core values aligned with mine.
No, I love that. Now, yeah, I mean, we can go sit, somewhere and do anything for 8 hours. But I think once you find that thing that you love and those people that you love to serve, you kind of can't anymore. Like, you kind of
Yeah,
stop,
yeah,
once you see that there's more than that,
exactly.
where you get the option to not only be of service but to also be fulfilled. You
Exactly.
it just hits different. And so I love that you found that in your life, that you found the space and to be that type of business owner that was working with people you love and doing the thing that you love, which is bringing um systems and structures to business. So I really want you to tell me a little bit more about that, because I know in our just previous conversation, I was so geeked out watching you get geeked out about the people that you serve and what you do. And I love hearing about people's passion and what they do, because when people get geeked out about what they do, it shows up in how they serve.
I totally agree. I totally agree. So for me, it's all about bringing structure and ease to my clients, to their business life, which in turn brings structure and ease to their personal life. Because if they're not running behind their business, they can actually live a fuller personal life. And then it also brings more impact, which brings more income. Like at the end of the day, that's why we're in business, to make impact, which eventually leads to our income. But for me, it's about showing small business owners that you can have you can have the level of structure in your business that eases up growth, eases people doing business with you, adds value to your clients. But it can be in a way that's in alignment with your core values, your mission, your vision. It doesn't have to be like cookie cutter. It doesn't all have to look the same way. Structure for your business can be in a way that serves you, your clients, and your team. So I love to just show them that and show them how they can get freedom through that.
And I like that that three that you just listed, you know, yourself, your clients, and your team. Because I think a lot of times what does happen is people want to standardize what that looks like. You know, I have people who, because they're in the same industry with me, you know, well, can't you just set it up for me? No, your business still operates differently. You know, I mean, I have the
Mm-hmm.
ability to set it up, but we have to, you know, set it up to match what meets the needs of your particular clients and your the way you operate. Because I can set up a set of systems and it doesn't fit with you, and it's going to be just as much of a hassle as when you didn't have systems. So
If they use it at all.
right, because
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen, because it doesn't fit how you operate. So then you're just going to, you know, let it sit over there and collect dust, and you're not going to utilize it. So it's really a tool that's meant to help you. You know, I know a lot of times, you know, if you're not, you know, that analytical person and you hear systems, you know, all of a sudden you just shut down. Because, you
They
know, I mean, a
do.
lot of my audience are creative, so we like the fun and we like the, you know, the shiny object. But at the end of the day, that system is supposed to be designed to work with you, supposed to be designed to, you know, give you that ease. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, harp on that a little bit more, because again, a lot of my audience are creative. So we hit systems and we just we
Well,
just
that's why you have someone else come do, that's why you have to realize, like, it's all about, identifying the experts that you need as well, because you don't have to do everything. That's another thing. Like, I try to just bring into my clients is that you don't have to do everything. I know Issa Rae told you you did. I know she said entrepreneur. I did this by myself. I know that's what she said, but that's not true.
right.
so, so, just kind of bringing in. And a lot of times I look at them and I just ask myself, is it a lack of skill or is it a lack of will? Because it may just be something you just don't want to do. And that's okay, but it still needs to get done.
Right.
So
Right.
that's kind of the way I kind of approach it. How can most business problems are systems problems? So what's the problem that you're having? What's the challenge that you're having? How can we solve this? Is this it's a process issue or a systems issue? And what type of investment are you willing to put in that, whether it's time or money? Because some of the stuff you're spending your time on, because you don't have a process that's written down that you can hand it off to someone else, that's keeping you from doing money making fast.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I mean, and ultimately growth and sustainability, because you can't take on more clients because you can't handle the clients that you currently have. So, you know, again, it's like one of those things. It's like, I gotta, eat my broccoli, but like, I'll eat the broccoli if that means I can have the dessert later. Like, and it's not like you got to eat the broccoli every day. Like, that's the beautiful
Yeah,
thing
and
about
that's exactly what it
systems.
means. Yeah.
You just got to set it up and, utilize it. You don't have to, like, you're not doing that heavy lifting every day. The discovery process, yes, you got to go through that and figure out what's going to work, and you can work with an expert and they can actually implement it for you. But you don't have to do that part anymore. Like, after you do that first part, you don't have to do that part anymore. It's set up,
Exactly. It's just
and now
maintenance.
it does it for you. And all you have to do is whatever pieces you decided in that process, you have to do manually. But you don't have to do it all like you're doing now. You don't have to, like, I think sometimes we get caught up in thinking that something just has to be that way. Like, that's just a, circumstance of the job. And, from a systems perspective, 9 times out of 10, there's something that can be done to make that thing better. And so like that's the way my mind works. So I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do this all the days of my life. Something can be
Exactly.
done
Yes.
to make it better, So like instead of being constantly frustrated, again, like you said, it's a systems problem or a process problem. Like you can resolve this. So I just want to, for the listeners, I want y'all to think about the things on your day-to-day calendar, or just the things that you encounter that just make you want to scream every day. There is some solution to that thing, but you have to be willing to explore systems and work with systems experts to get that solution. But it's out there. You don't have to, I don't have to be all my life I had to fight. We don't have to live like that. You don't have
We
to live
don't.
like that.
So I think part of it is too just cultivating that idea of continuing to evolve, continuing to just strive for excellence within your business, continuing to improve your processes and how you do business. And I know that, the operation side isn't really like the sexy side of business. Everybody wants to do the sales, they want to do the marketing and all that type of stuff. And those things are immensely important, right? But one way that you can make sure your business runs more smoothly, decrease costs, increase the satisfaction of your team is really through just taking a look at your operations, your processes, your systems, your people, taking a look at it and see how can we improve on this, and do that on a regular basis. Like it's about like reviewing it on a regular basis, whether that's quarterly, whether that's annually. One of the things I'm doing with my clients right now is looking at I call it a tech stack, looking at her tech stack and seeing where we can either consolidate apps or software, or where we need to add new apps or software based on services that she is rendering. There's a service that she wasn't doing as often, but she's decided, okay, I want to make this my main focus. Well, if that's the case, we need to implement some systems, to help this service be delivered more smoothly. So I think it's just about that operational excellence, which really is just like that constant process of improvement, constantly just looking and seeing, okay, where can I improve? Where can I streamline? Where can I make this seamless? Where can I add value for my clients? Not necessarily cost, because we can decrease cost and still add value. Where can I add value for my team? Because nobody really wants to work in a place where it's hard to do a good job. Like we want to make it easy for our team to do a good job. We want to make it easy for them to know what's expected. And so all these things like structure, systems, processes, all those things can come from that. I mean, there are a lot of benefits. It's just, kind of taking the time to look at it and maybe bringing in someone who, that's their thing. That's their jam,
Right. Because if it's not, I could totally see how it's just like would be frustrating because because I mean, we're sitting here talking about this and I'm thinking to myself, somebody is still not clear on what systems are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And that's fair because it may not be something that you're thinking about, you love baking. And so you started, this company because you love baking. And now people are talking about systems and posting and this and that. And now, you wanted to be the baker. Now you the butcher, the candlestick maker too. And that wasn't what you signed up for.
Exactly.
So, I definitely believe in working with experts because you're not expected to know everything. But I also believe that, especially for, the ones that are not in a position maybe yet to go to an expert, or, you may not be able to hire all the positions that you're looking for. Systems handle things to give you. It's almost like, let's say you really need to hire, 5 employees. You could put some systems in place and maybe you could down that to 2 or 3, because
exactly.
the workload is being handled by the system. So, but I'm going to throw this to you, and I know I'm throwing this out of left field, but for somebody who may not really all the way understand what systems are and how they help a business, how would you describe that, like in its simplest terms?
In the simplest terms, a system is a group of processes, tools, and people that work together for whatever the desired outcome is. And sometimes, like you said, it can reduce the amount of people you need. Sometimes you may not need people at all. One example of this would be like scheduling. I don't know why, but I really, really hate going back and forth with people about scheduling. Don't know why, but I do.
I do
It's
too.
just
I do
crazy.
too. I'm like, you don't have a link. Do you not have a link?
Look, please send me a link because I do not have time. But but I digress. But that's a very simple system that literally requires no people. That's a very simple system where you are going back and forth over text message with somebody about what time to do something. Let's just say it's a consultation. Like, let's say you have a business that you do a consultation and you're going back and forth with them about their availability. You sent 8 text messages. You sent 3 emails when you could have just sent one link. Now, yes, would it have taken you maybe 30 minutes to set up your booking link? Maybe. But now when someone asks you, when can I do my consultation? You send them that link. It takes you 10 seconds to copy and paste it, send in a text message, send in an email, or they go to your website or wherever you can be found, your website, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, they click on the link and book. You, like,
So
it's
simple.
literally just, yeah.
So simple. And you know, instead of, like you said, those 8 text messages, you could be sitting on the beach somewhere drinking a drink and your whole calendar could get booked out while you are doing something else.
Exactly. And then not only that, but now your customer is not frustrated. So now you've added value. You've already communicated. That's another thing another reason I believe systems are really great, because they help to communicate your vision and your values to your clients and to your team. So you've already communicated to that person that working with them is going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, working with them is going to be easy. I was actually looking for a new cleaning company because I have a couple of Airbnbs now. So I'm looking for a cleaning company. And so I've literally been bouncing back and forth with this woman for a couple of days trying to get her on the phone because there's nowhere where I can just say, you know, schedule a quote or whatever. So, you know, I'm like, okay, how easy is this going to be to work with this person? And I've actually chosen companies, especially one in particular I can think of, a cleaning company, because of the ease of scheduling. I don't want to have to call you every time I need to schedule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we book multiple people a week. That's multiple phone calls. I don't have other things to do. So
No,
just,
I mean, no, it people don't realize like sometimes how, like, when I'm on the consumer side, like I'm like, I'm not this person's coach. I'm not this person's coach. I'm not this person's coach. Like I have to say that over to myself because I'm just like, I'm a very, like, I know what I want. When I'm ready to swipe sort of person. And when you make it
exactly.
hard, then I just be like, you know what? Never mind. Like you could be the best, you really could, but if it's hard, if it's a process, because I'm trying to just swipe and go, and you making it more than what it needs to be, then I'm just gonna move on to the next person. So, you know, and that depends on the client, because some clients like the back and forth. You know, to be honest, that, you know, I've come across that as well. Some people do. It's not me. That's not anything I enjoy, but I can tell you, you know, in my balloon business, my clients, especially my corporate clients, every single time I go to a corporate client, they say the exact same thing. Oh my God, I loved working with you. You were so easy to work with, and I love your communication. All that is systems.
Exactly. It's
100% system.
automated. Yes,
It's systems,
exactly.
it's automated, but like you said, it's got to be tailored. It got to be something that fits your clientele. I know that clientele, and I know what they're looking for because I listen back, and like you said also earlier, about making sure that you're, maintaining these systems and updating them and looking at them. So when I notice, okay, well, I did a 2-day before reminder, but people start asking questions like a week before. So let me add a week before reminder. And
Exactly.
then those questions stop happening. Okay. So then, people might have a question about this. Well, let me tweak this email to include this paragraph so that now they're getting that information that they're seeking, but I'm trying to anticipate what is going to be that value that I'm adding to the situation, that they are getting what they need, not just the balloons themselves, because honestly, that's the least of the, interaction. They know they're going to get that, but the interaction is really about them feeling comforted throughout that process, and that process being clear and being
Absolutely.
structured.
Absolutely. Because I think when you have a good system, the clients and to your team, that I value your time. I value your time. I'm not going to waste your time. And so working with me is not a waste of money. It
Right.
communicates that you're not going to waste their resources. And so, like, I kind of just use the system like get found, get booked, get paid, get to work, right? People need to be able to
I love
find you.
that.
They need to be able to book you. They need to be able to pay you. Do not make me try to figure out how to pay you because I won't. Like, I'm just letting you know right now. And
I
then
tell
you need a
people all
system
the
to
time,
deliver.
don't make it hard for people to give you money.
Correct. Do not tell me, well, I only take Cash App on Wednesday, Zelle on Sunday. Okay, stop. Like,
Look,
that's
meet me in
okay.
the alley down the street at 4 o'clock in the corner. Like, huh?
Yeah,
Have a some kind of payment process that's electronic, that people can easily swipe and pay. You'll be surprised how fast people pay you when you send them something that they can electronically pay without any other parts. And this is just a side note, this is just a bonus for you guys. Stop making invoicing people a separate step. I know a lot of people will sit there and send it and, oh, well, if you like this and you approve this, then now I'm gonna send it in. Send it all at the same time. You giving people too much time to get bored, distracted, what have you. Send it all at the same time. If they don't like it, then if they decide against it, then you can cancel it. It's not gonna kill you to cancel an invoice. But I'd rather do that than not have the person sign up because they had to get another email. We on email 5 or 6 when that person was ready to swipe their card at email 1.
yeah, and I totally agree. I think that, like I said, get found, get booked, get paid, get to work. Also, make sure that the systems that deliver your product or service are intact as well, and that includes shifting. Because I have waited, but that's a whole other story. But I have waited long for a product. But yeah, I think it just communicates to your clients and to your customers what your values are, that you value them. And like for me, working with business owners, I know business owners are busy. They don't have time. They're not trying to, they're trying to make the most out of their time. They're trying to make the most out of their money. And so my job is to make running your business easier. So if you can't find me, if you can't get a hold of me, if you can't book with me, if I'm hard to get a hold of, then I'm already not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that I am making good on the promise that I've made, which is to make your life easier.
Right.
So, I think we have to just be mindful that, we look at our branding, we look at marketing, we look at all these things that we want to be in alignment with our values and we want to be authentic with. And I think that the way we actually do business needs to be in alignment as well. Like the way we actually do business needs to show appreciation to our customers, show appreciation to our team, and, just, for their resources. And I think systems help you to do that.
I definitely do. And I think another thing that I want to touch on with systems is not just your physical load, but your mental load.
Oh, absolutely.
As an entrepreneur, you have all this stuff in your brain. And I know people all the time talk about, you can't turn off that business brain. But you actually can. You actually can. And, but I think that if you would have told me that earlier in my business, I probably wouldn't have believed you because, 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about, but when you have systems in place and you are using them effectively, there's less stuff that you have to think about because it's doing it. Like, I don't have to remember, did I send that person a thank you email? Did I get paid on this job? Did I, like, I don't have to think about any of those things for a specific job because it's all automated and in the system. And so I can, one, have a relaxed mental load for myself, but two, my customer experience. So then I can be more present for my customer.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not thinking about, oh, wait, I'm in the middle of doing their thing, but I'm thinking about, well, did I call back so-and-so? I'm not thinking about all those things.
Absolutely. I think another thing that goes with that is just trust. It allows you to trust your business. It allows you to trust your team, and it allows your clients to be able to trust you. I heard this somewhere. I can't even remember where I heard it, but I heard that brains are for thinking, not remembering.
I love
So
that.
that's when it comes to write that process down. Write down how to do that. Just write it down. Get a system to do it. That way you're not having to remember it and you're using your brain power to be creative. Like you were talking about being creative and things like that. So you're using your mental, your mental power for thinking, not remembering. So, because that's just not what our brains were meant to do anyway. So
I
definitely.
love that. I absolutely love that. I've never heard that before, but I love that, because we try to retain all of this stuff. And the reality is, it's in there somewhere, I guess. But I mean, I can't promise it's going to come out at the moment that I need it.
Exactly. I can't remember. And I stole it from somewhere. It was a book I read or something. I don't remember, but definitely, I was like, that makes so much sense, especially as you get a little older.
Yeah, I'm like, and that's the thing. I know that I cannot trust my brain to do that. Like, I just can't. I mean, it's just impossible, especially again, if you're talking about growth and sustainability, you cannot possibly hold all of that information. And then you're not just running a business. So you have your business, you got your personal life, your friends, and this and everything else. And it's just, there's too much technology at play for us to be trying to use our brains in that way, trying to hold all that information.
Yeah, life just be life in too. Like there's more to life than business. And honestly, I feel like we started our businesses so that we could achieve that certain level of freedom, right?
Right.
But as your business grows, and especially, as you kind of get into the six figures and you're making money, your business can become a job if you have not set it up in a way that others can collaborate with you. If you haven't set it up in a way that it encourages teamwork and collaboration, that's another way that systems help you to grow faster, because you may think, okay, well, I only have, it's just me now, but it won't always be you, hopefully. So let's build it out, for when it's not just you, right, so that you can, make an easier transition to that team. Because once you get past a certain point, it's going to be very difficult on you without that teamwork. And it's going to end up eating up the freedom that was the reason that you started your business in the first place.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Because it's just literally too much. I was having a conversation, and it's not for remembering, right? You told me that, so I'm gonna give myself grace because I don't remember with who. But absolutely, I was having a conversation this week, and it was along the lines of, okay, if we look at ourselves as entrepreneurs, small business owners, and you look at big business has a department for all of the different parts and pieces that we are working on, right? Not a person, a department. So probably, anywhere from 3 to 10 people and maybe more working on that one thing, that one part of business that we're all trying to work towards. So when we think about, that it exists, how are we as one person really expecting ourselves to do all of those things without the support of professionals, without the support of systems, without the support of, a team? We need to stop thinking that we're going to, as one person, magically do it all.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we have to use the strategies at our, that we can take advantage of to make things happen. And systems is the greatest way that I can think of to do so much more with less.
For me, I kind of think of it like this. Your systems make the difference between you having a business and you just having a job. That it just happens to be your name is on the door. So
Absolutely.
to me, that's the big difference.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it's fine. I think there are certain situations, where doing it all yourself will work. But I think that there comes a point in growth that won't work. So I think it's about being able to really identify when you're coming upon that time. And I think you can identify that not only with the financial level of your business, but how does it feel? Does it feel good to you? Because we want to keep that feeling, like you said, that mental load. Like, how's it feeling? How's it working for you? And so I think that's real important too, for people to just know that, hey, okay, this is good, I can handle it, and then know when it's kind of going to the point where you can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being okay with that. Like, it's okay.
No, definitely. I think it's, the word that comes to mind is just burnout. People get to that point of burnout, and really you want to be as proactive about that as possible, because even if you're not to the point of investing in systems, at least start with processes. At least start with documenting, your processes, so that for yourself, I'm not even thinking about to a team. I'll use myself as an example. There's certain designs that I've done before. And I usually, something as simple, this is so simple, and it's not, to say I'm a systems girl, this is not high tech or anything, just simple. When I'm working on a design, I always keep, like if it's a picture that I had an inspiration photo or whatever, I always keep it next to me when I'm working, and I write notes on it. And I have a stack of those designs. I'm not going to remember that 6 months from now when somebody's like, oh, I saw the thing that you did, I want another one. And I'm not about to spend the same amount of time that I spent trial and error figuring it out again. Just something as simple as documenting that, so that I know I can go back to it and say, this was at this size, this was at that size, it was 15 of these. I know what it was, and I know I can replicate it. That don't require any extra money. That don't require any, anything. Even if you have pen and paper processes to start out, save yourself the mental load of trying to constantly remember everything every time, because you don't necessarily feel it in that moment. But again, that buildup happens. And then you start to burn out because your brain has just been going on overload all the time.
Absolutely. And I think there's definitely something to be said about the value of being able to repeat that same thing. If someone comes to you and say, hey, I really like that design, you can go straight back to your notes and repeat it pretty much exactly. So now you have consistency, which just goes back to just the level of trust people can have in your work, that level of professionalism. And they know, okay, whenever I get a design from Danielle, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right.
all of those things are going to contribute to your growth. All of those things are going to continue contribute to more impact in your business, and more impact means more income. Like that's all that's really where we're trying to go with this. You know, and I think we need to be okay with that too. Saying that we need to free up our mind to be thinking about income generating activities. We need to be able to provide more value for our clients. We need to be able to provide consistency, and all these things really lead to more money. So I think it's one of those things where people just need to realize it's gonna cost you time or money, or maybe even both. So it's like, I can't, for me, why not? You know what I'm saying? Really from jump, I was thinking about, okay, how would this work if I wasn't here? How would I do this? How can I make this experience really, just rich for my clients and easy? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I wanted more clients and I wanted to make more money.
No,
Yeah.
and like you said, there's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna add to it. I want to make more money and do less stuff.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm
Say
saying?
one more
I'm
time.
just gonna because we just gonna put it all out there. I want to make more money and I want to do less stuff. I don't like if I wanted to, work like super hard to make money, I could just go back to a job. Like that's, like
Absolutely.
I want to make more money. I want to do less stuff, but I want that stuff to be, purposeful. I want that stuff to be, how we started with people that I enjoy working with, things I enjoy doing. And that's what makes this, that's what makes this something I get excited about every day, as opposed to something that I gotta do. And
Exactly.
you don't want to get to that point in your business because, some people will say, oh, well, how does that, what about the customer? Blah, blah, blah. I am the best for my customer when I am the best for me, because I'm
Absolutely.
showing up as the best version of myself. I'm showing up excited to be there. I'm showing up enthusiastic about, what I'm about to do for them, as opposed to, oh, I tapped out 4 days ago and I'm still
Yeah.
just trucking along.
Running
You
on
know what I'm
fumes.
saying? Like that's a totally different experience. Nobody wants to feel like they bothering you. I've been places where people be
Oh, I
apologizing
have.
to the business owner like they bothering them. And I'm like, who wants that experience?
I think part of it when you're talking about the systems and people, I think a lot of people think, oh, my customer or my client, they only want to deal with me. It's not that they only want to deal with you. They only want to deal with your outcome, the outcome that you
Right.
give for them.
Correct.
Like let's just be real. Let's be honest. Yeah, your customers like you, but they pay you for a service. They want to deal with your outcome. And when you have documented your processes, when you've implemented the tool, when you have people that are aligned with your vision, which is all the things that make up your system, you have that system, all of that is in alignment. They can count on that consistent result. They can count on that system will be their link to you and your values. As long as they're getting that same consistent, valuable result that's in line with your values, they still have that link with you. That's what your business is. Your business doesn't mean you have to put your hand on everything, but your vision and your values, that's what needs to be going through everything.
And I think, because I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, and that's the part we try to skip over. And that's the part where we need you, like you said, I need your hand in that part so that you can take your hand out of the rest of
Exactly.
it. But if you can, and that's any, phase of your business, any part of your business. Because I have people that, oh, well, I want to hire somebody to do my social media. You got a brand voice, or no,
Nothing to communicate. to
They
communicate your
can't do your
values and your
social
vision.
media because they have to speak in your voice. And if you can't communicate your voice, then they can't speak in your voice because they don't know. Your employees can't represent your values. You say, oh, well, I hire people and they don't work out because they're not they don't treat my business like I treat my business. You don't treat your business like you think you treat your business. Like it ain't gonna be an episode if I don't step on a toe or two. You're not
But
treating
that's
your
true.
business with that respect. And so if you don't set that foundation, I have a cousin of mine and he comes and he helps me on jobs like if I need extra hands. The first time I asked him to come and help me on a bigger job, the first thing he said, now this is not, he hadn't worked in my business before, nothing about it, but we're close as cousins. He, know me, we've known each other our whole lives. He came over, and as soon as he walked in the door, he says, is this okay what I have on to go into your client? He knew to ask that question because he knows me. I said, yeah, you're fine, but I have a uniform shirt for you. But I'm saying that to say people have to know you and your business identity to be able to, for your systems and everything to work, for your employees to show up, and you not have to feel like, oh, I have to touch everything because when I give it to somebody else, they mess it up. You have to infuse that in the business.
Absolutely.
And that has to be one of the questions I have for you, and I think this is going to lead into it, is that has to be a part of the onboarding process of your staff, of your, they have to know what you're all about.
So I think it has to be not only a part of the onboarding process, that's just where it starts, right? Well, actually, it starts all the way at the application process, in my opinion.
Yes.
Your application process needs to be smooth, seamless. As you take them through whatever is going to be your selection process, it needs to be smooth and seamless. It needs to value their time. It needs to show them and communicate to them the values of your business as you're taking them through the evaluation process, the selection process, all the way up through onboarding. And then it needs to be continually reinforced with training, with development opportunities, and with access to you. As a small business owner, you're not going to have, multi levels of management between you and your team. You may have one, maybe there might be one person, maybe you have an OBM or something like that. But that is how you kind of keep that up. That's how you kind of keep them abreast and aware that those values are a priority. You show them the values are a priority through the processes you have in place, through the systems you have in place, and also with the way that you treat them, and the way that you respect their time and their effort, the effort they put in. So yeah, I definitely think it's a part of the hiring process when it comes to your team. Even if you're working with contractors, you want to make sure that the contractors that you work with are in alignment. I think we spend a lot of time talking about our marketing and all those things being in alignment and attracting our target customer and our target ideal client avatar and all those different things. But honestly, we need to have an employee value proposition as well. Mm-hmm. What value are we bringing to them? How are we keeping them in alignment? And so really alignment, when it comes to like alignment and authenticity, that's a 360 thing. That's not just a forward facing thing. That's a thing on your back end too. And that's one of the things. I actually have a client right now. We're kind of working through that, doing a training process, updating her services guide for how they deliver service to make sure that her team is delivering service in a way that accurately represents the company. This is really important when you have an agency type model where people are delivering services on your behalf. You want to make sure that the level of service and the way they deliver that service is communicating your values and your vision for your company. So to me, it's important on all sides. 360 degrees need to be alignment with your company.
No, and I love that you said authenticity, because it really, that's the part. Because I mean, we've all worked for somewhere and they hand you that manual when you start, and they're like, our vision is this and our mission is that, and blah 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 blah. And then you like, this is toxic as hell. Like
Exactly. Ain't
this
even
is
living. Ain't even living
this
their
is
own mission.
right. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't know. Did you read it? Because you made me read it.
They have it.
Did
Yeah.
did you read it? We have to dig deep too and figure out what that looks like, and not just regurgitate with the values of some other company. If that's not your values, then that don't need to be on the table. What are your values? And I kind of feel like it's from both the client and the team acquisition, it comes down to, like, if you build it, they will come.
Exactly.
If
Exactly.
if you build it out of, this is what I'm about, then people that are like that are going to work at that place. And always when I think about that, I always think about when I think about company culture, I think about Chick-fil-A.
Oh yes.
You go to Chick-fil-A anywhere, all over the blessed United States of America, and they gonna be serving up the large chicken the same way.
Yeah, and it's a pleasure to serve you. They
And
say
it's
it's
a
my
pleasure to
pleasure.
serve you. And they
Yes,
have
yes,
ingrained that company culture. And it shows you the strength of company culture when done properly, because their franchises all over the place. So, the person who originally created that culture probably has never met half of the people that you are getting greeted by when you go to a Chick-fil-A. But that culture is so strong, and it's actually, authentic and carried out, that it seeps all the way down. Now you can
absolutely.
go to other establishments. I'm not gonna name their names, but you're not gonna get that greeting. We got lunch. I'm not gonna say where, but another establishment. And the people were like super duper, like Chick-fil-A nice. And I was like, I wasn't even in a driver's seat, and I was sitting there like, are you auditioning for Chick-fil-A? I'm like, you at
Not
the wrong,
auditioning.
spot, like, but that culture, one, you're gonna get a pleasant experience. So you as a customer like to go there, but they're gonna always be attracting people that fit. And I don't think I've ever been. One time I went to Chick-fil-A and I was like, I don't know if this person gonna make it. Like, but I've never really experienced where the person that was serving me did not fit.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's definitely a thing. I think it comes to also taking care of your team. Because Costco is another good example of that. Costco employees, some of the best employees I've ever met.
Oh, they just as nice.
That. And that's the thing. And this is what we say in Army. You take care of your soldiers, they'll take care of the mission.
Yes.
So I tell people, take care of your team, they'll take care of the mission. If you appreciate their work, what they're made their job easy, you've given them the they need to do for you, you've given them the support they need to your clients with excellent service, they're going to provide their clients with.
Yeah.
Because you've taken care of them and you pay them fairly.
That part.
That's speaking of getting stepped on, difference between you will find out, especially when it comes to and leadership, the team leadership. You will definitely find out the difference. What happens for what taken care of or run efficient, effective leadership. As entrepreneurs, as owners, the of your team falls onto you, and leadership in the decision making.
Yeah.
facilitating that they ask. There's so much that goes, but it applies to all areas. Talking about the operational excellence, it applies to areas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think that that's the thing we do on the team side of it. I think a lot of times we just figure we hire a warm body and put them in a seat. And
Yeah.
we're not looking into fit. We're not looking into setting them up for success. They're just supposed to know what common sense says, you know.
Oh, yeah, I've
Ooh.
experienced.
Like, no, set people up for success. Bring them in knowing, like a lot of times I hear somebody say, well, I need help. I need to hire somebody. Hire somebody for what?
Exactly.
If you can't sit down and make a job description, then you don't need to hire nobody, because you're bringing that person in to do what? And the frustration then becomes, well, I hired this person, but I'm still doing all the work, because they don't know what they're supposed to do, because you don't know what they're supposed to do. Like, you have to be able to articulate that stuff. There's nobody that can just come in and swoop in and just, I mean, well, I'm not going to say there's nobody. There are people that have that. There are people that have that skill set, but I promise you, they're not at the budget that you're trying to hire an
I was
entry
just
level
about to say
position.
you may have to pay them. Well, and that's when it comes in too. It's not necessarily about paying people enough money. You may pay them, but no trying to figure out or trying to take things from you. So one of the exercises I like to go through too with my clients is, if they have a pain in their side, I'm
Wait
like,
one
okay,
second,
well,
Stephanie. Sit back just a little bit, because when you lean forward, it breaks up a little bit.
okay. I'll take my clients through an exercise when they have issues that are just like big to them. Hey, you do a screen record of yourself doing it. You may not be able to, and that's okay. Do a
Right.
screen record of you doing it, or do a voice record of you talking through it if you can articulate it. Just do the set over, and then me and my team can help write it up and go for you. So I mean, there are ways to do it, but as I said before, everything time or money. But at the end of the day, you do it once, like you do once, do that heavy lift, and that's something. So
Right.
just pretty much, here and there, that could take that completely off your plate.
Yes. Yes. And that's my thing, is like, my phrase whenever I talk to people about systems is, I say, y'all say y'all don't have time to set up systems. And what I will say is, you don't have time because you don't have systems.
Absolutely. Yes, exactly.
Like, you're overwhelmed, you're busy, you're all of this because you don't have systems. If you have systems in place, systems equal free time.
Absolutely. It's just like anything else. It's just like, you got that closet, and every time you go in, it takes you 2 or 3 times as long as it really should have. You're just trying to get dressed. Can't find the blue, can't find whatever it is. My organized, yes, it might take a whole afternoon,
Right.
but after save time, and not only that, but that frustration. You're gonna say, like, I know me, I had a strap in my closet, I could not fit. Pulling that stuff out, because every time I would put it on, I would get mad. So I'm like, let me just save myself and just
The
go on and get
trouble,
rid of
right.
this stuff, go on and make room for stuff. Or I would have stuff that was old that I didn't like, and I would put it on, but like, I don't like this. I just started throwing it away.
Mm-hmm.
Make room for what you do want in your business. Yes, it may take
Yes.
a little time to get things organized, but that's going to leave you so much room for the things that you want, the freedom, the impact, the income. You got to make room for that stuff. If you want more clients, you have to do something to increase your capacity to serve them.
Yes.
Or if you want to raise your price, you have to do something to add value.
Yeah.
So,
And then I think a byproduct of all of that is when you do that work, you have so much more clarity. And that makes you, on top of getting back that time, it makes you a better business owner all around, because it makes you better to your client and it makes you better to your team. Because now that you've done that work, now that you are conscious of those values that were kind of floating around in your head, but you weren't, necessarily focused on, now you got free time because your systems are doing the work. And now you have the clarity that you can go and implement that with your team. So you can be thoughtful about that. You know what? We, had a hard, May is a busy month. We had a hard month of May. We're going to take the whole week of Memorial Day off.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least you have plenty of room to do stuff like that now.
You have time to think about those things that make it worthwhile for someone to work for you, and that makes it worthwhile for your clients as well, because then you coming back after Memorial Day refreshed and ready and fun, and you're that best version of yourself.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Let me make sure, because I just love getting caught up in these conversations. I'll make sure I didn't miss anything. And I'm just going to ask you, is there anything that you just feel like, I cannot leave the audience without sharing this about structure, system, operational excellence?
So the one thing I would say, you got to plan for excellence. By and large, it does not happen on accident.
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
You have to plan for excellence.
It
doesn't happen on accident. You have to be intentional. And I think that you definitely need to have a plan. You definitely need to have an idea, a roadmap of how you want to take your vision, turn your vision and align it with the actions of the company. How you want to take what you intend for your company and turn that into impact.
Awesome. And I really love that I'm a big fan of the phrase intentional action. And just to kind of bring it back to the Chick-fil-A example, all those other restaurants have a company culture policy and everything else as well. But that the planning for excellence is the difference in how it's actually carried out. Because everywhere you go, they have that manual and it's in there. If you are listening right now and you are working a job, go pull out that manual they gave you on the first day and turn to that probably in that first 10 pages.
Mm-hmm.
It's all there, but it's actually planning and implementing it that is the difference maker, that makes, great companies for people to work for and great companies for people to work with.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm going to do our wrap up questions, because I know me and you can go off on other topics. Yeah. And I know you're going to be like, I know that you'll be back again. So
I hope so. I always enjoy talking to you so much. So I hope so.
Yes, ma'am. I enjoy, I love when I meet systems people, because I'm just like, oh, my love language. My love language. It really is, because I think, if people knew what it felt like on the other side of systems, they would be like, why didn't I do this sooner? Because it's just freeing. Like I don't have the random, like if I have a random 3:00 in the morning thought, it's about something at my house. It's really not about like a client or a job, or, it's not about that anymore. So y'all just listen to this 3 times if you need to. Just buckle up, buckle down. We're going into the second half of this year. don't start it. Don't go into another year without having something in place to make your business run smoother. All right, I'm gonna hit these wrap-up questions, and then I'm gonna give you an opportunity to tell them how they can get in touch with you. So my first question that I ask everybody that comes on the show is, can you tell me about your favorite pajamas?
So my favorite pajamas are a pair of Harry Potter pajama pants from Me Undies. They were a gift from a friend of mine who knows that I absolutely love all things Harry Potter. I am such a nerd. I have the wand, I have pajama pants, I have sweatshirts, I have t-shirts. I've been to the Harry Potter experience at Universal Studios in Tokyo. So yes, I love my Harry Potter pajama pants. Also, I am 4'11.5", and they are not too long. And they have multiple pockets. They have pockets in the front, pockets on the back.
That is
so
awesome.
Those are my favorite pajamas.
That is absolutely awesome. I'm actually going to another big build in December, and it's on a campus. They said it's very like Harry Potter. Now don't be mad at me. I'm not into that genre.
Oh, I am all the way into it. Wizards, witches, werewolves, vampire, all of that. All of that.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I respect it. It's not my thing, but they said that it's like going to be a similar like vibe and experience. It's like a school that's going to be like closed during the time that we're there, and I think it might be a part of the theme. So I'll make sure to send you tons of pictures.
You need somebody on your team. You need some.
I wish it was that easy. I have a friend that's been trying to get in my suitcase every time I go.
Look.
So
I will blow up balloons.
You'll blow up balloons just so you can have the experience. Well, I'm gonna experience it all on your behalf, and I'm gonna send you tons of pictures, and maybe I'll watch one of the movies before I go. I don't know. Okay. I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'll try.
I read the books too, so
no.
Yeah.
You asking much? No, I'm gonna try to watch.
No, I don't think. I'm not saying. Yeah, at least catch one movie.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I will try.
All right.
Okay, so my time freedom allows me to.
So, I actually started working with a time management coach last year. And one of the things, the first thing, when she basically was talking about time freedom, right? Because I'm, it allows me to cook. It allows me to cook and fuel my body in a way that helps me to work better in my business and do all the things that I want to do, and save money. And plus I love to cook. Like I love to cook. So that was one of the things I wanted to find time to cook. I was like, I want to cook a certain number of nights a week. I used to cook every single night. I want to cook a certain number of nights a week. And so it allows me to do that. And going forward, one of the things as I begin to experience more success in my business and hopefully have more freedom, I want to be able to build my day around my energy. Like for me, time freedom is all around building my day around my energy. So
right. I like that too. Yeah, I love to cook too. So that is like a big plus of being able to do that as opposed to like take out and all this. Because after a while, you start feeling icky. Like, you eat a little bit too much of like outside food, and you're like, I just want something that like tastes like freshness. Like
exactly, yeah. And then the experience of cooking is a pleasant one for me. So
yeah, that is one of my, like, I know a lot of people, it's a stressful experience, but that is one of my calming experiences. Like, like even now, sometimes when I am busy, if I can squeeze it in, I will find the time to cook because it kind of, just mellows me out a little bit. Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. And I love the scheduling around my mood because I will take a nap in the middle of the day. Like, I'm just like,
look, that is my goal in life.
Like, I'm just like, you know what? yes, everything is on fire, but guess what? I'm gonna take a nap and then I'll put the fire out because I'm tired right now. Like, I mean, it's just it. I think that what I found with that is that, we feel like when we push through, we're getting it done. But I found that, it's not giving it its appropriate amount of energy. If I go take that nap and then I come back to it, it's like I'm coming back fresh, bright, and I'm like, all right, I got this. I got this. Nobody can stop me now because I'm in a better space than when I'm trying to force it.
Exactly.
So I wish that for all of us, like to get to the point that we can really have more of that flexibility, because I think that we would just operate better in our zone of genius.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, so what would be the best advice that you could give anybody that's seeking the profits in pajamas lifestyle?
So I would say, ooh, that's kind of a hard one because I think it depends. I think it depends on the person. But for me, I guess the best advice I would give is get started. Action brings clarity. Like, get started. If it is your intention to start a business or to grow your business, I would say get started. Do something. Make a move. Just start moving, and things will start falling into place.
I love that. I love that because I think sometimes we think it's like we gotta start and finish on the same day. And so we don't start because we can't conceptualize the finish. But you're never gonna get, like, I tell people all the time, you worried about step 82, but you never did step 1. So 82 ain't gonna never matter because you never did step 1.
And that's me. Like, that is so me. It's so hard sometimes for me. I'm an implementer, right? I'm an implementer. If you give me your vision, I will run with it. I will make it happen. But for me, sometimes it's hard. My vision of what I want, even for my business, is not clear sometimes. And so I just learned, just start moving.
Mm-hmm.
I just start moving anyway. And I push myself. It's very it's super uncomfortable for me to move in uncertainty. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I just push past
Yes.
that and I say, God put me here to do something. I need to serve. I'm here to serve. And I just keep pushing through. And I push through and I keep moving. And as I move, as I take action, the clarity comes. And I told my team, yesterday, I said, this is my movement error. I said, we gonna move. I said, it's not gonna be perfect. Because whenever you're trying to increase capacity, perfection is not the goal. We're going to have to come back and tweak some things, but we're going to move. I was like, this is the season. Going into the third quarter, this is the season for movement. And we're just going to keep making moves. We're going to figure out where we need to be and how to when we get there. And that's just what we're going to do.
So. No, and I think that that's the most, pure and honest thing. And it's just, but it is so true. Like, you don't know. Like, I think that there's like this feeling that you are supposed to know. And I think that it keeps us from moving because we're not ready because we don't know the ending. And it's like, no, you're not supposed to know the ending. And honestly, the ending might not even be written yet because it depends on, like you said, if you're just out there moving, you know how you have the pick your own adventure books. I mean, you move left, it got to have one ending. You move right, it might have a totally different ending. But if you stand still, it's going to have that same ending that it had last time and the time before that and the time before that, because you'll never know if you don't just start moving. And I absolutely love that, because I think that I know that somebody is sitting there listening. They've been thinking about this thing for way too long. I've been that person before, just sitting up thinking about the thing, and time is passing and nothing is happening because you still sitting there thinking about the thing. And I know everybody, I am faith-based. I know everybody's not faith-based, but sometimes God is waiting for you. He know the ending, but he's waiting on you to move so he can open the next door. It requires you, he can't open it. If the door is in California and you are, in Florida, he can't open it right now because you're not gonna get to it in time.
Exactly.
You gotta start heading in that direction. So I like that. I really, really like that. Okay, so tell us what you have going on. What's going on exciting in Stephanie's world that you want to share with the audience, and also how can they get in touch with you?
So, as I kind of mentioned earlier, excellence doesn't just happen. You have to plan for excellence. So now that we are going into, this is the last month of the second quarter. We're going into the third quarter. Half the year is over. One of the things that I sit down and do with my clients is their quarterly planning sessions. So the big thing I'm offering right now is my intention to impact toolkit. And other resources that revolve around that. It's a strategic planning guide, a template,
Awesome.
and we're going to have videos to take you through the strategic planning process. You can also book a one-on-one strategic planning session with me, where we'll go through your mission, vision, and values, your goals for the next year, and you'll come out with a very clear action plan of how we can get you moving toward your goals. So that's what we're doing right now. That's my offer right now. And you can find me on Instagram at Doyenne Consulting, which is DOYENNE Consulting, or at DoyenneConsulting.com. Again, that's DOYENNE Consulting.com.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Y'all know, I only bring people to y'all that I really enjoy their company and that I trust their businesses. And I have had so many great offers brought to the table, by people that come here. Y'all take advantage of these, opportunities. Please take advantage of them. Check, go and check this out. Go find out, especially this is the time of year. You hitting that mid-year mark. You may not have even started with a strategic plan going into the year, but let's figure it out and make sure that you end the year strong and that you are going into, the next year ready and prepared. I want y'all to, check this out. I'm going to have a link in the show notes that you can get easy access to this. Check it out. You heard all of the expertise on this episode. Please go check it out. Go get your life together. Get into operational excellence. If you understood what it's like to be in a space where you are not, because I've been there before and I've been there after, so I know what it felt like, and I know I don't never want to feel like that again. Like ever again. Like, there are ways to make it easier. There's always going to be, things that come along with being a business owner, but there are ways to make it easier. And this is absolutely a way to make things easier. So, Stephanie, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for presenting the offer to the group. And of course, we're going to have our paths will cross again. Absolutely. But I just want to, again, thank you for being here and sharing all of the wisdom around operational excellence. Like I said, it's my love language. So I'm just like geeking out over here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun. I always enjoy talking to you, and I can't wait to come back. So I'll be back anytime. Anytime you're ready, just let me know.
Awesome. I definitely will have you back. And I think I'm gonna do last year. For the anniversary, we did a panel. So we had all of the guests that could make it for that date come back and did a panel discussion, and it was amazing. And I've been talking to like such amazing women like you this year, and I'm just like, oh my God, that's gonna be like, I'm already in my mind, like, oh, when I get all of these energies together, oh goodness. But so I'm very excited. Again, you guys check out the link, make sure that you are staying connected, make sure you go and follow Stephanie, stay in company of good people. You know, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, just be real. It makes sense. Stay in company of good people. All summer long, I'm going to be running challenges. So I will be alternating this summer between my right now I am doing the capable and confident challenge, which is ditching imposter syndrome. So that challenge is going on right now. You still have time by the time that this airs to join. Like maybe I'll, let like a couple of more people in, but I don't want you to start too late in the process. So you may have time to go ahead and join if you're interested in that one. And then we're going to also be running the calendar detox challenge as well. So that is making sure, we talked a lot on this episode about alignment, making sure that your calendar truly aligns with the things that are in your success story. So, 9 times out of 10, when we look at that calendar and we match it with our purpose, it's not matching up. It's not matching up. Yep. It's all kind of stuff on there that's like, why am I doing this again? I gotta go to this person's 12th baby shower, like
not the 12th baby shower.
Like, can I just send a card? Like, what are we doing? So that's the purpose, is just to make sure that those things align, that you are really working towards your success goals. Because sometimes we look up, you didn't spend a whole year you've been doing a bunch of stuff. You were busy, but were you purposeful? So I will have links to both of those challenges in the comments as well. All right, guys, I am going to end this and I will see you next week. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at CoachDanniD.com.